So if you are already in your 30s, you must have noticed tremendous difference in your dating life from what it was in your 20s.
Don't wanna say goodbye, 'cause I don't think that I have it in my soul to keep letting go. You hold me real tight, kiss me hard another time, be my fire for tonight, and then I'll let you burn my.
Hello everyone, this is Cal, your pal, and today I'm going to discuss with you all dating in the 30s. So yeah, as you can see, I'm still not fine. Thankfully the fever is gone, but please send me more healing vibes because my cold and especially dry cough is like killing me. It has seriously affected my sleep. You know how it is like when you lie down. I'm so afraid to even lie down. Like yesterday when I was even editing, I was feeling so tired and irritated and I wanted to just lie down, and I just went to lie down for a few minutes and I got like a bout of cough. It's disgusting, and the sad part is that even my parents cannot sleep because of this. So I feel bad, but then I'm suffering too, and I'm wearing some makeup, but I'm already sweating. Please, if any beauty bloggers and all those makeup artists, YouTubers, if you guys are watching, anyone is watching this video, please let me know what is it that I need to buy to keep this makeup from not melting, especially in the summers. Is it like you need a primer or concealer or something? Comment below and let me know. So let's not waste any more time and let's begin this video. In your 20s, you have your studies, your career and everything, but life is much more relaxed, and it's much easier to have relationships where you are not really worried about commitment, or you can afford to like date as many people as you can, and you don't have to really worry about some other things like commitment and marriage, where this is going, your biological clock is ticking, whether you really like kids, whether you don't like kids. So by the time you are like say 28, 29, and that thing hits you like, oh my god, I'm going to be 30. So last year I was like kind of freaking out that oh my god, I'm going to get 30, I'm still single, I haven't found that stable partner and all that. It kind of like hits you, oh freak. And everyone around you also, like they'll be like scaring you, oh you are already going to be 30 now, wow. And then when it actually happens, I was like, I don't feel anything. So when it actually happened, I was like so chilled out, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. Because trust me, in your 30s you're much more wiser, you know what you want from life, and that is going to help you in even finding a more authentic partner. There are a lot of people who get married in their early 20s. Nowadays, of course, the marriageable age is like increasing, like people don't get married even till they are say 35, 36. And there are a lot of reasons. Like for example, people are more focused on their careers, especially even women are like trying to make a place for themselves, trying to make a name for themselves, and they want to be good at whatever they do, and they want to be financially stable. So this is not like just about women, I'm talking about for men also. But the few things what you need to consider when you're dating in your 30s is, especially in the initial stages of dating itself, when you are in your 30s, sometimes you can say that there are a lot of limited options already, because for example, because a lot of your friends are already married, all the good guys are maybe taken. Like have you heard the song of Robbie Williams, Supreme? So it is kind of like one of my favorite songs, and it says like all the best women are married and all the handsome men are gay. You feel deprived. And I always love to listen to that song because that's what kind of resonates with me when it comes to dating. And you are always wondering, where are the good guys, where are the good guys, especially if you keep meeting the wrong men. Sometimes when you they say that if you have not learned your lessons, then you kind of keep meeting the wrong men. So what is important is, especially in your 30s, you should please stay away from wrong men. The kind of men you don't want to be with, please filter them out. Don't waste your time with such men. The same goes for men. I'm not being biased towards women, even men who want like serious relationships, or who want, for example, marriage and kids and commitment, long-term relationship. You should not waste your time with women who do not fit in the criteria of what you're looking for. I'm not saying that I'm judging the people, who want to probably stay single, or who want to not have committed relationship. So what is important is you need to ask yourself, because by the time you are in your 30s, you have probably figured it out, what kind of relationship you want. You have kind of figured it out that what kind of person you are looking for. And these things are very important to be asked on the first couple of dates itself. Because why do you want to waste your time? You're like focused maybe on your career, and you are really putting yourself out there, whether it's in the traditional setup of dating. For example, if you're meeting a guy at a bar, or you are at a library and you happen to find this guy interesting, and you hit up a conversation, or you try, what is happening more, it's the dating apps and uh, online websites, and you go that route because you don't want to waste your time. For example, like me, I work 7 days a week, so I do not really want to even waste my time to introduce myself to someone who may be probably engaged, or I'm a little old fashioned when it comes to these things. So I want the guy to approach, and even when I have given hints, I don't know, is it like in India, or in South Asian countries, these men just don't have the guts to even come up and talk. Now, of course, we have to even see that the setup, so whatever kind of dating setup you choose, it is important to get few points out in the first dates itself. I don't want you to waste your time beating around the bush. For example, if you really want a long-term relationship, you want commitment, you are looking for a guy to settle down, that has to be discussed. Maybe the guy is not looking for a serious relationship, he just wants a no strings attached kind of relationship where he can date other people. So there are people who are like that. If you're old fashioned, stay away from such men, and these things should be discussed in the first few dates itself. Now when a guy says like, you know what, let's see, let's hang out and we'll see, I do not believe in marriage and all that, believe him. Don't think that he's going to change, okay? There might be guys who try to manipulate you to stay in relationships, or dating. In the first few dates itself, he's like just trying to get you in bed. The same thing for guys. If you meet women who are not interested in having a long-term relationship, and who are just there with you for just having fun, a good time, I don't understand, people are so complicated these days. So I think most of the people have figured it out, like what they want, and to each his own. But please don't waste, what I'm trying to say is, don't waste the other person's time. So even if you are not looking for something serious, let that person go, because she or he wants a serious relationship. These things need to be talked in the first date. Next thing, about kids, very important point, because even though we say that, oh, please don't talk about marriage, and please don't talk about my age and all that, it is a fact that the biological clock is ticking. That is a reality, and we cannot change that. So when your elders, or your friends tell you to settle down, and that is happening. So you need to ask yourself whether you want your own children, whether you want to be a biological mother, or you're fine with adopting. Now when that happens, I think it's fine to, get married in the later stage, say by 35 also, it's fine. So these things, again, if the guy wants to have his own kid, he wants to be a biological father, so then you have to think about, I think he has probably marriage on his mind. Of course, in South Asian countries at least, you are not going to have a kid out of wedlock. That's like just the social setup, it's like going to be a big deal. But say in countries like America and UK and all, it is fine. People have kids before marriage also, and it is not like looked down upon and then they get married, or some just stay in live-in relationships. We should not judge anyone, but you need to talk about these things. Sometimes if the person is not ready to take responsibility of the kids, I mean, you need to see what kind of person you are getting in a relationship with. Is he really going to be a good father? All these things matter in your 30s, about your career. Very important. By the time you're 30s, you know how much focused you are in your career. Most of them have probably been promoted, and they are already financially stable, and they have achieved a lot of goals. They have like a house, a car. This goes for both men and women. But if you are really a career oriented woman and who doesn't want to stop working after marriage, these things need to be discussed during your dates. Because if the person you're dating wants you to be a homemaker, and you are like, no way, I'm never going to leave my job, not at least for the next 10 years, or you would like to work from home, or you would like to take a break when you have kids, again, all these things need to be discussed. If like in your 20s, it's fine if you're like, you know what, we'll figure it out. But in your 30s, it's like a big deal. Even about adoption, especially in India or other South Asian countries, people have this thing still. There is whole this taboo and myth about adoption ki oh dusre ka khoon hai, and like all that stupid stuff. Because I hope you all know that there are so many kids in India who need a home, and I definitely feel about adoption and sponsorship and stuff, because I don't feel that if there are so many kids in this world who are in orphanages and they need a home, it's not just about money, it's about giving them a loving home, a really good upbringing and love, a family. So if you feel so much about adoption and sponsorships and how charitable you're going to be in the future, money is something which can bring happiness. But in what way? Whether you feel happy by doing more of charitable work, giving back to the society, or this other person, your partner whom you're dating, he feels like maybe he should spend more on the fancy cars or buy another property in Dubai or Maldives or somewhere in his native place, or he doesn't feel that he should adopt. He has that really weird mentality, and he's like, I just want to have my own kids. Another thing is whether you don't want kids. That's also a big point of discussion, and it's no point carrying on with someone who wants kids, because it's not fair to them. I'm talking about both men and women, because by the time you are probably 30, 32, 35, I'm sure you have like figured it out everything. You're like, no, I'm not that fond of kids. No, I don't want to be a mother. I don't need to feel that I'll be only like feeling that kind of fulfillment when I am a mother, a biological mother. It's fine if I adopt. It's fine if I don't have kids ever. Maybe I'll just adopt a dog. Or you just want to travel as a couple. That is also, again, traveling is something not everyone likes. Do you want to like save financially in bonds, and or do you feel the need to travel more? All these things are important, and these things need to be talked about. So that is what dating in the 30s is. Another thing is, whether it is about a common person, whether it is about your favorite YouTubers or your favorite celebrities, and it is not just in India, even in Hollywood and everywhere. Why is it that a woman not getting married, or when a woman is single, or someone cheats on her, that becomes a big deal? Then an old uncle being single at say 50s, and that is not a big deal. No one talks about it even in the media and stuff. As soon as a woman hits 30, and as she becomes much more older, everyone just keeps talking about, when are you getting married, why are you not getting married, this, that, time pe ho jana chahiye. And you start dreading going to even parties and marriages and stuff. And it's not just about women, even men go through that. At least I know in India it happens, especially your married friends, your relatives, and everyone is like kind of like concerned. The mohalle ki chachi, your neighbors, everyone is just so bothered about it. I'm like, why is it such a national issue? I mean, maybe they're doing it out of concern, but let me figure it out myself. Thankfully, if you have like parents like mine and amazing friends who are like, please don't rush into it, just do what you're doing, and only then, if you find an equal, then get married. I think they're just being honest, because I feel it's too intruding, and I don't think so anyone should ask that question. Yeah, unless you are like my really close buddy and I'm going to discuss about it with you. But not everyone needs to know this. Like, imagine, like, if you are married, like, imagine if I go around like asking people, oh really, are you happy in your married life? How's your sex life? क्या आपका husband आपकी respect करता है? When people talk about compromise, no, it really baffles me, because what compromise? I can understand financially if you have to, do some budget cut down, but I don't know. Like, see, so many things matter, no, when you come to in your 30s, like, not just about marriage, kids, and all these travel plans and everything, career, but like, which I have mentioned in my previous video also, about my spiritual journey. A person's political beliefs, religious beliefs, the way he earns, how authentic he is, how he treats everyone around him, everything for me becomes so important. And if you are really truly authentic like me, it will matter to you. So people say like they like strong women, but then when they actually have them, they don't know what to do with it. They are like, oh my god, she baffles me. And that is the thing in India, even in other South Asian countries. I think we are all same. आखिर में तो एक ही थे, तो बंटवारा किया, that is different. So the mentality is same, and it is not just the South Asian men staying here, Indian men staying here. Even if when they go abroad, I think their mentality doesn't change. Not everyone is the same. That has been my experience, at least, that the multicultural British men I dated or I was in relationship with, they were kind of very supportive of my career, and I think they were not that bad, even if one of the relationship was seriously not good. But the things I've faced with the Indian men, insecurity they are so judgmental. When it came to my career, I had no support. They were just taunting, and all these things. You're not going to even put up with this shit, which you may have put up in your 20s, because so much of experience you have had. It's always good, I feel, if you've had some relationships, you always learn something from them. I do not regret any relationship of my life. Maybe the second one, because it was abusive, and I think I shouldn't have been, and somehow even, no, it was just wrong. But then every relationship, everything teaches you even about yourself. It's not just about the other person or what you're actually looking for, but you just toughen up in your 30s, and you're just like, I'm at peace with myself. Maybe you've accepted your flaws and your good points, and you're like, enough is enough. I am not going to even waste an iota of my peace of mind, you know? You're like, I'm done. It's like that. Anything which doesn't feel right, you're going to be like, tata, bye bye. No one can fool you, especially in your 30s. There are some people who just don't grow up and they just put up with such shit. It's just not right. It's okay to not judge quickly. It's okay to not be too picky. I know I keep hearing this that when you are, in your 30s, you should not be too choosy. But I think that is the time to be a little bit choosy. I'm not talking about just looks, that is very subjective. For me, looks matter because I've dated good looking guys. For someone else, looks might not matter. There are a lot of women for whom looks don't really matter. There are so many men who are like, ladki mil rahi hai, that's only enough. If you ask men around in India, they are like not that picky. Short chahiye, tall chahiye, fair chahiye, ya patli chahiye, moti chahiye. To be honest, I think not all men just want a perfect female. They are like just happy to just get a woman. Yeah, because there are so many men who have probably not even been in proper relationships till a certain age. So they are just happy to be with someone. They're happy कि कोई लड़की मिल भी रही है. So I think it covered a lot of points. So if you are someone in your 30s, please talk about these points initially itself. After a couple of dates, you need to, so that you don't waste your time, because I'm sure you have your career to think about, or even if you are planning to settle down, you want to get married, please tell your intentions initially itself. Whether you want a long-term relationship, marriage, kids ke bare mein, what you think about adoption, or you want to be a biological mother, then you have to you have to go for it immediately. Freezing your eggs, I think a lot of women even think about that. That's a very personal decision, and I think it's expensive also. So all these things you have to kind of plan, think about it, and only then take a decision. So be very careful. Please don't waste your precious time, especially in your 30s. It can't be like figure out kar lenge. नहीं, वो सिर्फ movies में होता है. असली में it's definitely tough. It is tough in your 30s, because then you kind of have limited options, or maybe it's just like I think that I have limited options. I have a problem with dating younger men also. I have now suddenly like a lot of young men wanting to date me, or they show interest, and I'm like, no, because I have seen even guys in their 27, 29, 30s also, 31, my age also, guys who are immature. So imagine if I actually start dating guys who are like, in their 20s, like 25, 27, or yeah, I think it will be a nightmare, because I don't have time to teach someone how to be a good boyfriend. So please be very careful. Okay, so that's it from me, folks. I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Please comment below and let me know your experiences. If you are in your 30s, what are the best places to find someone? I can learn from you guys. See, I'm not someone who's I'm an introvert, so I don't socialize much. I like to read, I like to do the normal things like watching a movie and all those things. So for me, online dating is any day much better, because I feel I have the control, especially to kind of swipe and connect with someone who is looking for the same things as me. I don't have the time to waste, so that's the reason. Okay, please share this video with your friends, and please subscribe if you're liking my videos, if you're liking my channel. I just want to take a moment to thank all the new subscribers. Thank you to all the old subscribers also for sticking around. If you want to check out my last video, it's somewhere here. And until next time, it's bye-bye from me. Take care.
Don't wanna say goodbye, 'cause I don't think that